Welcome, listeners, to Tales by the Lamp. Gather close, for within these flickering flames, stories come alive. Let the shadows dance across your imagination as we tell enchanting tales from around the African continent. From the wisdom of ancient myths to the whimsical adventures of modern fables, we'll embark on journeys that spark curiosity, ignite wonder, and leave you with a heart full of warmth. So, settle in, dear listeners, and prepare to be swept away by the magic of storytelling. But beware, dear listeners, for these tales may not always be what they seem. In a land where the sun kissed the earth with golden rays and the ancient baobab trees whispered secrets of old, there lived a woman named Zara who lived in a little community. Zara was captivating. Her eyes were dark pools of wisdom, and her laughter could make the sternest elder smile. Despite her beauty and charm, she remained unmarried, tired of her alone and yearning to find a husband. Zara consulted the oracle, a wise old woman named Nia, who could communicate with the ancestors in a hut that smelled of herbs and ancient scrolls. Nia said, "Child, your destiny is unlike any other. The man who fathers your child will become the ruler of this village, and his reign will bring unparalleled prosperity." This intrigued and emboldened Zara. Zara devised a radical plan. She would sleep with every eligible man in the village. This way, she reasoned, she would not only find her destined husband, but also secure the best future ruler for her people. As weeks turned into months, the village began to buzz with rumors. Zara's unconventional search for a husband became the talk at every gathering around every fire. Finally, Zara found herself with child. She was radiant, her belly round and full, a living testament to the prophecy. As her due date approached, tension thickened in the air. Each family with an eligible son began to claim the unborn child as their own, laying their stake to the future chieftainship. In the middle of this hailstorm, Zara gave birth to a healthy baby boy. The village rejoiced, but the joy was short-lived, for the next problem was immediate and pressing. Who was the father of this child born to rule? Elders convened, wives gossiped, warriors sharpened their spears. Everyone had a theory, and every man wanted a test. The village was on the brink of a civil war, and only the true identification of the child's father could bring peace. Yet Zara remained serenely confident. She knew that the prophecy would not fail her, nor would it fail her people. And so, with her newborn son cradled in her arms, she awaited the revelation that would change the fate of her village forever. A week had passed since the birth of Zara's son, whom she named Tariq, meaning he who knocks at the door. It seemed as though Tariq was indeed knocking at the door of a new era for the village, one fraught with uncertainty and anticipation. The Council of Elders, the esteemed body responsible for making major decisions in the village, convened under the oldest baobab tree. Its gnarled branches seemed to sag with the weight of the momentous decision ahead. "Our ancestors have always shown us the way in times of both harmony and discord," said Oy, the eldest among them, his voice trembling like the last leaves of autumn. "We must seek their wisdom to resolve this crisis." Just then, Nia the oracle stepped into the circle, her eyes glowing with a fire that seemed almost supernatural. "I have spoken with the ancestors," Nia began, her voice a mesmerizing melody that silenced even the cicadas. "They propose a test, one that will reveal not just the father of young Tariq, but also the future leader of our people." Murmurs spread through the council. Even among the elders who had seen many harvests and many seasons, this was unprecedented. "The test," continued Nia, "will require each potential father to undertake a journey to the sacred mountain. At its peak lies a stone, not just any stone, but a moonstone imbued with the wisdom of our ancestors. The man who returns with this stone will be deemed the true father and the destined ruler of our village." A collective gasp filled the air. The sacred mountain was a place of many perils, wild beasts, treacherous terrain, and above all, spiritual trials that could break even the strongest will. Yet the Council of Elders knew there was no other way. After a moment of ponderous silence, Oy spoke. "Then it is decided. Each claimant will set forth at dawn 3 days hence. May the ancestors guide us." As the council dispersed, a kaleidoscope of emotions filled the village square. Excitement, fear, hope, all woven together in a tapestry as intricate as life itself. Zara, holding Tariq close to her chest, felt a calm assurance wash over her. The ancestors had set the stage, and now it was up to the men to prove their mettle. But even she couldn't foresee the twists and turns that lay ahead, for the journey to the sacred mountain was one that would bring surprising revelations, ones that would change the village and its people in ways they had never imagined. As dawn broke 3 days later, a sense of expectant hush enveloped the village. The air was thick with the smell of burning sage as incense billowed from the homes, seeking the blessings of the ancestors for the journey ahead. Their faces were a canvas of emotions, eagerness, fear, and a simmering excitement that seemed almost palpable. Zara, cradling Tariq in her arms, watched them quietly. Her eyes met each of theirs, a wordless message that seemed to say, "May the best man win." With a blow of a horn and the beat of drums, the journey began. Each man carried a satchel filled with offerings, kola nuts, palm wine, and sacred amulets to honor the spirits of the sacred mountain. The path was laden with challenges, both physical and mystical, rivers that twisted like serpents, forests that whispered secrets, and caves that echoed with the laughter and cries of forgotten souls. However, the real test lay at the foot of the sacred mountain. A stone altar stood there, inscribed with ancient runes that told tales of heroes and gods, love and betrayal. Beside the altar was a pool of water so clear it mirrored their deepest fears and desires. As the men reached the altar, a voice echoed around them, a voice so ethereal it seemed to belong to the mountain itself. "Offer what you value most, and you may proceed," the voice resonated, filling the air with an unspoken gravity. One by one, the men approached the altar. Some offered gold, others heirlooms passed down through generations, but nothing happened. The way to the peak remained sealed, as if mocking their futile attempts. Finally, it was Geno's turn. Geno was not the wealthiest or the strongest among them, but he was known for his wisdom and humility. Instead of placing an object on the altar, he knelt and offered a prayer for the village, for Zara, and for the unborn generations who would inherit the earth. As he finished, the altar glowed with a soft, radiant light, and the path to the peak opened up, as if summoned by his sincerity. Awed and humbled, the men followed Geno as he led the way. The weight of their journey seemed a little lighter, their resolve a little stronger, bound by a newfound understanding that true leadership required more than just wealth or strength. It required the wisdom of the heart. The ascent up the sacred mountain was unlike any other climb. Every step seemed to be a dance between the earthly and the divine, where physical exertion met spiritual enlightenment. The men felt their breaths grow shorter, but their senses heightened. Every rock, every gust of wind appeared imbued with ancestral wisdom. Finally, they reached the peak, where the night sky seemed to be within arm's reach, twinkling stars bearing witness to this pivotal moment in the village's history. There it was, the moonstone, glowing softly in the moonlight, almost as if pulsating with the heartbeat of the mountain itself. Geno approached the stone first, his hands trembling as he touched its cool surface. The moonstone lit up, its glow intensifying into a radiant beam that shot up towards the sky, returning as a cascade of light that enveloped him. "Son of Kofi," a celestial voice echoed, "you have proven your worth. This child, Tariq, is yours, and you are destined to lead your people." Overwhelmed by emotion, Geno fell to his knees. The men who accompanied him were silent, humbled, and awed by the revelation. Their prior envy and rivalry dissipated like morning mist. As they descended the mountain, the village came into sight, bathed in the soft glow of dawn. The men felt different, transformed not just by the revelation but also by the journey itself. It was as if they had shed layers of ignorance and ego, revealing new skins of wisdom and humility. When they arrived, the entire village had gathered, the tension in the air palpable, a sea of faces anxious and expectant. Geno stepped forward, holding the moonstone high for all to see. "The ancestors have spoken," he declared. "I am the father of Tariq, and it is my destiny to lead this village. A collective gasp followed, then a roar of cheers and ululations. The elders nodded in approval, their faith in ancestral wisdom reaffirmed. Zara, with Tariq in her arms, walked over to Jeno. Their eyes met, and in that moment, all the complexities and hardships seemed to melt away, leaving behind a pure, unspoken understanding. As Jeno took his son in his arms for the first time, the village erupted in joyous celebration. But Zara knew that this was just the beginning. They had averted a crisis, and perhaps even started a new chapter in their history. But the real work lay ahead, in raising a child destined for greatness and leading a village toward prosperity. Yet with the moonstone as their guiding light and ancestral wisdom in their hearts, the community looked to him for guidance, curious to see if he would fulfill the prophecy's promise of unparalleled prosperity. In the days following the ritual at the river, Zara and Jeno found themselves growing closer, united by their love for Tariq and their shared responsibility to the village. Jeno, despite his previous reclusiveness, began to immerse himself in village affairs, learning from the elders and participating in communal activities. His natural wisdom and humility quickly earned him the respect and admiration of the villagers. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the village, Zara and Jeno sat outside their hut, watching Tariq play with other children. Jeno turned to Zara, his eyes reflecting the setting sun. "We have a long journey ahead," he said softly, "but I believe with truth and love we can lead our people to a brighter future." Zara nodded, her heart swelling with pride and hope. "I believe in you, Jeno, and I believe in Tariq. Together, we can honor the ancestors and ensure the prosperity they foresaw." As the weeks turned into months, the village began to see the fruits of their new leadership. Jeno's fair and just decisions, coupled with Zara's nurturing spirit, brought about a period of harmony and growth. The villagers worked together more cohesively, and the fields yielded bountiful harvests. The once tense atmosphere dissipated, replaced by a renewed sense of community and purpose. Years passed, and Tariq grew into a fine young man. He embodied the best qualities of both his parents, Zara's warmth and Jeno's wisdom. The villagers often spoke of the day he would take his place as their leader, confident that he would continue the legacy of prosperity and unity. One day, as Zara and Jeno watched Tariq address the village for the first time, they felt an overwhelming sense of fulfillment. The journey had been arduous, filled with trials and tribulations, but the truth had indeed set them free. Their village, once on the brink of civil war, now thrived under the guidance of the true Father and the wisdom of the ancestors. The prophecy had been fulfilled not just through Tariq, but through the collective efforts of a community bound by truth and unity. As Zara and Jeno looked on, they knew that the future was bright, not only for their son, but for the generations to come. The whispers of the baobab trees seemed to echo their thoughts, carrying a promise of hope and enduring prosperity for all. This is not the end of Tariq's story, listeners, for the journey of a true leader is long and difficult. Subscribe to see what trial Tariq had to overcome amongst friends and foes. See you in the next episode.